Hey y'all. I hope everybody has been having a great week, and I just wanted to come and chat with y'all for a little bit. Um, I'm gonna do my best to focus, but I'm always channeling and I can't turn it off. I have my own thoughts I want to get through, and so does my higher self. So let's talk about the term from dark to light. Every little moment, every day, every little encounter, um, is you overcoming the dark. As it stands, that's how it's supposed to be, okay? Because we live in the realm of polarity. So we have good and bad, up and down, in and out, dark and light, right? So you overcoming those thoughts is entering the light over and over. That's the goal, ultimately, is for you to enter the light and hold that frequency of light. So don't feel like you're doing it wrong, okay? This is the process. So ultimately, you want to stay in a high frequency because we know that what you are, you attract. So this realm is a mirror to your own internal thoughts and feelings. All right. Um, let's see. So our thoughts are, in my perception, in my belief, our thoughts are our biggest adversary. So you have your ego and you have your higher self. Our higher self is something we innately feel, something we feel that, it's natural to us. So, most of us were born with empathy, sympathy, and then empathy based off of most of us having common or similar experiences because we live in the same realm, right? So, your beliefs are mainly given to you by your ABCs, your area behavior cognition. So that's the neighborhood you grew up in, the beliefs you grew up with, your parents, and people and situations that you interacted with coming up from a baby to a adult or whatever, right? So those somewhat vary between people because of their own personal experience. That's why I be on y'all a lot about not going after each other about your personal thoughts and opinion. Okay. So your thoughts. So you, again, we most of us know how to behave just based off of human nature and understanding for the most part that you treat people how you want to be treated. So people in this realm and circumstances and things that you encounter will, for the most part, give you back the same energy that you put forth. So we kind of understand that on a basic human nature. Most people understand what's right and wrong. Now, then it gets a little tricky, right? Because also on a human level and on a logical, psychological, and educational level, we know that words have definitions, right? So if if society, or let's take it back before you really enter society on a large scale, just with your parents, right? So say for instance, as an example, we have the definition of truth. The word truth has a definition. So if your parents they taught you to tell the truth and not to tell a lie, right? And, human nature, because I mean, well, we see ABC people around us lie. So for instance, your parents told you to tell the truth and not lie, but they turn around and show you the opposite of that. So as a child, you understand the basics of telling the truth. It means what it means, and telling a lie means something else. So y'all bear with me. I'm trying to get this out as best as I can, right? If you see somebody in your area behavior cognition do the opposite of a definition of a word that has a definition, then that's going to be quite confusing, especially to a child, right? So that's the tricky part here. Now you have, now that's given, I guess, energy to the ego, right? And so now we have this battle of your intuition, your higher self, what you naturally know to do, right and wrong, and then versus what you're being shown and being imprinted on in society. So now you're confused as to what the truth and lie is, or when it's right and wrong to do it and who's able to do it, right? So it's a confusion there. One second. So the battle is again between your ego and your higher self. Now we know what's right and we know what's wrong, but then you individually choose which direction you want to take. So now you have these ego and higher self in the form of thoughts fighting each other, battle each other, amongst other opposite thoughts and feelings about, you know. So another example is work. Most people don't want to devote all their time and energy to an outside entity for a little to nothing in return when it's so many things you want to do. So you're told in society that that is what you're supposed to do. And so you try to do the right thing and do what you're supposed to do. But internally, you feel the opposite. You feel heavy. You feel like you're in the dark. Okay. So here on earth, the institutions that's been put in on earth is in direct contrast to what you innately and naturally feel to do. And then they mix it and scrabble it up, and it's even more confusing. So, this is the dark and light. And so, you want to hold your focus, your intention to the light. So that's why it's hard energetically for you. And obviously there's other obstacles to make sure that it is hard for you to choose the right thing. So once you start becoming an adult, you have obligations. You need your own place to live and you need money to do that. And so society has told you what you need to do in order to obtain these things. So you do them. All right. So then you add in a family and children. And so now you're absolutely obligated to do what society tells you to do right versus what your internal nature tells you to do. Because your internal nature would tell you to go ahead and do the thing that makes you feel good. If it feels good, it's the right thing to do. If it feels bad, it's the wrong thing to do. But again, the institutions have kind of barricaded you in to only having really one choice. All right. So day to day life and day to day influences, the news, the media, and everything influences that dark. They they perpetuate fear. And again, the neighborhoods you grow up in and the people. So fear of other people, fear of deities, fear of being in lack, fear of being homeless, et cetera, right? So it again barricades you into doing what society tells you to do versus what makes you feel good. So that is one of the main traps. So, like I was saying earlier, your mind is your biggest adversary because you constantly have to choose. And you constantly, when you get hold of a focus that you want to, here comes something else outside influence to kind of throw your focus off. Okay. Or something that tells you, I can't sit here and focus on this or give my energy to it or maintain a high frequency because I have these obligations that I have to tend to in order to survive. All right. Now, being in the dark is also a good thing because it's a reminder. So if you start feeling a little bad or you recognize because being aware of it, you recognize that your energy is dropping, it's a reminder. It's like a little alarm clock. Hey, you slipping. Let's get it back up here, okay? Again, we have been told that what you focus on is what you get back to you, what you get back, right? In society, we have the physical realm, but also we kind of ignore the spiritual realm. And when we do acknowledge the spiritual realm, we are giving our power away. Okay. So you're waiting for somebody else to direct your energy or to help you out of survival mode instead of taking a hold of your thoughts. So as a small concept to compare to, we do this every day. but we're not intentional with it. We do this every day for the sake of other people, but not ourselves. Because again, society has taught us that we have to be good people. They want to implement into you other ways to be a good person aside from the ones that you naturally have. So, society's good person is give, 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 give your energy away, your kindness away, help people, care about this cause, care about that cause, and you have no space to care about yourself, your needs, your desires, or your positive causes for yourself. You're constantly giving your energy away to somebody else, and you only have so much energy, right? You only have so much energy, just like you only have so much allegedly minutes and hours within a day. Okay, you only have so much energy, and if you give it all away to someone else, then you have nothing left for yourself. But we do this every day for other people's sake. You intentionally decide to be a certain way when you get interviews. You intentionally decide to be a fairly good person when you interacting at work or a coffee shop and you decide to tip the server. And if you apply this concept to your own thoughts and intend on having mostly positive thoughts and an outlook on your desires, you will begin to align the more in the light you are, the more likely you're going to manifest the existence you want. It's really that simple. It's tougher than it sounds because again, we've already been programmed to think and feel a certain way about everything. Now, again, you need energy to put behind your personal agenda, whether that's to be healthy, whether that's to be rich, whether that's to have a family, whatever you personally want. You need energy to put behind it. Now, if you're putting energy behind other people's shit, they gonna reap the rewards of your energy. So when you go out and work for somebody else, you giving them your energy. When they put on the news about celebrities passing away and you said and you crying, they're using your energy for their agenda. So if you don't intentionally use your energy, someone else is going to use your energy. Stay away from things that make you feel bad and people that have negative energies, just the way that you're staying away from people that have the cocoa and have anything else. And that also applies to the men versus women thing. The more you give energy and give attention to things and people that you do not like, because you say you don't like them. You say you don't like it, it make you feel bad, but you constantly engage with it. Now, which one is it? That's when you have to be honest with yourself. If you know you like toxic shit, you like to argue, you want to be right, you need to be validated by people outside of you, then just say that. But if you recognize that and you want to, I guess for lack of a better term, be better, because again, it's up to you and your perception. I don't care. I'm not judging. We only judge ourselves. And that again is another energy and frequency block. Be who you're gonna be and stand on it. Again, most of us know how to be a good person. The simple basic rule is treat other people how you want to be treated. Don't expect something from somebody that you are not going to give, right? Don't expect something from the universe that you're not going to give. Don't expect nothing from your hard work that you're not going to give. But more important than that, if you don't truly honestly believe and have enough love for yourself because you haven't done the work yet, don't expect to get something back that you don't believe in. If you don't believe it, you can't achieve it. So that means that we're going to ignore everything else. It means you're going to have to be a little delusional in terms of what we're being taught and told on a physical level. That's going to be a delusional to everybody else. So that's why you really don't even speak about what you're trying to manifest or what you feel or believe, because you're always going to have an outside influence, the dark, trying to attack your light, your own thoughts, beliefs, and desires. As sad as it is, that's just how the energy goes here on this realm, that you have to have the opposite of what of each other. You have to have the opposite of any concept. And that's just the way it is. That's the law, right? But there's something you could do about it. You can intentionally focus on what you want. I don't know the Bible code or any. I don't know nothing about the Bible, y'all. But I know they do say, in probably I think the first book, John something, something to the effect of, in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was God, and so on and so forth. The Word. What can we compare the word to? What coincides with words? You can't have a word without a thought, right? So your thoughts and words. And they said that the word was God. So I have to believe in my own perception that a form of God is your thoughts. And you ask your thoughts, your God, to bliss you with your thoughts and desires, to bring them forth into physical reality. So again, your thoughts or anything that comes into the physical realm has to be in the spiritual, the thought realm first. So when you're manifesting, you have to know exactly what you want. So we're not dividing up the energy because, again, you can only have one energy present at a time. And that is to alleviate any confusion. So if I want to manifest money, I have to be on an extremely high level because we all value money greatly, right? Now, if I'm not on the same level as money, it cannot find me. And that's why it's easy for us to manifest negative um, experiences because we're always on a low frequency. And again, that's because of our area behavior cognition. The energy you most practice expressing is the reality you're going to live. Again, outside influences have a big effect on that. The news, your friends, your parents, your religion, all of that. So you have to be honest with yourself and decide what you believe. Decide how you feel about you. And if you have a poor self concept, then you need to find a way to raise that concept. You need to reprogram yourself just the same way that you get programmed in school. You practice saying your ABCs. You practice writing them. You practice learning how to spell the same words. You learn the definition of the word. You keep doing it over and over. If you need to, record your own voice giving you positive affirmations, but you have to keep doing it. You overcome the dark, all these circumstances, all these negative thoughts, and you intentionally place them on a more positive concept. And you do that as many times as you can until you're able to hold that high frequency for long lengths of time. So, again, whatever you like is what meditation is, or whatever you like is the way for you to raise your frequency. If you like to dance, if you like to listen to music, if you like to be creative, whatever you like to do, that is your specific thing to raise your vibration because we all are different. We can have a foundation of a way to do things like reprogramming. You just keep repeating yourself. You keep doing something repetitively. You kept repetitively hearing that you wasn't going to be this, that, and the third. You kept repetitively having issues with finances. What's your relationship like with money? Do you believe that money is evil? Do you feel like it's hard to get money? What are your beliefs? And then you need to reprogram yourself to say that I love money and money love me back. That's a fact. Money I attract. You come up with your own things because whatever you believe, whatever you feel tied to, whatever you put your efforts and your action and energy into is going to grow for you. So stop relying on other people to tell you how to accomplish something or how to feel or how to move. Apply the simple, basic law of treat people how you want to be treated The return you expect is the energy you put out, okay? So just this is a time to be honest with yourself about who you are, who you want to be, and then get to working on yourself by um, doing shadow work. Do your research on that, or we can make a video about that if you want. But you figure out the steps that work for you. You can find your basis and figure out the steps that work for you. Okay. But again, the main goal in manifesting or changing your life spiritually is about the thoughts that you have. It's a battle between your thoughts, your good thoughts and your bad thoughts. Okay. So I really do hope that I was able to verbalize what I was trying to say in a way that you guys can understand. I be having an issue kind of getting things out. Um, so I'm working on that, and we're going to have more content like this. I've been wanting to do for a while, but um, I'm trying to put myself out there more with this. You know, it's one thing when I have a focus of one particular thing, but like reading, so I'm focused on that, and I can kind of just zone out. You know, that's how I channel. I zone out a lot, and that's why I be all over the place and stuff. So I appreciate y'all for putting up with me, and I will see y'all later. Leave y'all feedback and everything in the comments later.